Welcome back, creatures, to my autistic little corner of the internet. My name is Jib, and yeah, I know it's been a while. But trust me, I actually have a pretty good reason as to why I haven't been here. It's because, well, I was lazy. I'll admit it, I was lazy. But anyways, to reward your guys' patience, you know how I've been teasing these little things behind the scenes? Like, make Toy Star scream. Oh, my bad, I mean Meteor. As well as this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. So I thought to myself, what better time than now than to take a look back at last year's last place figure, Generations Thrilling 30 Nightbeat. And by all means, this is a pretty uneventful looking figure, with the only thing actually going for him is the fact that this is the only Nightbeat figure that's been released in the last 10 years. And no, I'm not gonna count the Titans Return version, that's just his head. If I went to my grandpa's funeral and saw just his head in the casket, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, I went to my grandpa's funeral. No, I went to his head's funeral. Anyways, starting off with the painting and sculpting of the figure, it's pretty good. As despite being an incredibly minor retooled and repainted version of the Thrilling 30 Bumblebee, Nightbeat here really makes the mold his own, despite not looking like any Nightbeat ever. Cause if you take a look at the comic that he's supposed to come with, which I don't have, they're not even the same person. Or if you go and take a look at the other IDW comic one, no, not even close. Or the Marvel Comics one, and yeah, not even close. So you can maybe call it a lack of care or creative liberties, but to be honest, I'm personally a pretty big fan of his redesign, as the yellow is no longer a prominent color on this guy, as it takes a backseat to black and blue, while it mainly serves to give highlights, and personally, I really like that. And it's not like I had a problem with the amount of yellow used on the prior designs, but this just tickles my fancies in a particular way. As the strong contrast of the black alongside the turquoise with dashes of yellow and silver is an unexpectedly cool and smooth look. That's so cool, in fact, it hits you with a Men in Black neuralizer, making you forget that the whole chest should actually be yellow. But like I said, it just works well for this design. But that actually does bring me to one of my complaints, which is the yellow paint looking weak and famished on this figure. He could have really used a second coat. But I can forgive it because it's not the worst part about this figure. We'll get to that soon. Because we gotta talk about the articulation, cause this guy can pose. Swivel at the head, hinge, universals on the shoulders, bicep swivel, 90-degree bend, waist swivel surprisingly, ball joints at the legs going that much forward, backward, and to the side, thigh swivel, more than 90-degree bend, and the feet are on ball joints, but the best they can do is swivel with a hinge at the end. The articulation on this figure is by no means bad, especially for a figure of his time, but the joints on this figure, especially the knee joints, are incredibly loose. And it sucks because the figure has a generally dynamic look that makes you want to mess around with him, but those leg joints are a hindrance for whatever pose you want to put him in, except for standing. He can at least do that. At this point in the video, I try to show off the accessories, but this time around, I don't have them. But if you do actually care about the accessories and how they look, here's a stock picture I found online. And as you can see, for the Nightbeat mold, they look awful on him. So the fact that this used $10 figure I found on eBay doesn't come with these accessories doesn't bother me in the least bit. Anyways, I've been yapping way too much, so how about we just move on to the main course, the transformation. Oh wait, silly me. I almost forgot about it, but let's do some size comparisons first. And also, how about you also like, share, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. Anyways, here he is with Flame Toys Leo Prime, my custom Desperado, and my last review, which you should totally go check out. Oh my god, it's been 2 months. So the transformation on this figure is surprisingly fun, as my favorite part is how everything feels like it's all moving in one singular direction. As the chest slides up, the legs fold up, the shoulders hinge upwards, it all just culminates into a feeling of momentum as you transform the figure. And to be honest, it's not a feeling I've really encountered anywhere else. Cause here is the alt mode, and it's okay, it's pretty cool I guess, or should I say pretty hot because of those flames. Oh, As for the paint in the vehicle mode, it's done pretty sharp, as it's the same thing from the robot mode. Because once again, my only complaint here is that the yellow could have used a second coat. That's generally it. And my only nitpick here in the alt mode is the fact that the blue is overwhelming to look at to me personally. Because in the robot mode I could tolerate it because it had the contrast of the black to hold it back, but here, there's none of that. It's just pure, straight, solid blue. And if you like this shade of blue, then you're winning, but me personally, I can't really stand it. Final thoughts wise, Nightbeat here still holds up for the most part, except for some minor design flaws here and there, and those knees, which aren't that bad considering the figure is so light then. He doesn't need massive ratchets to hold his ass up. So if you plan on getting this figure as a placeholder while waiting for Hasbro and Takara to stop edge maxing and start design maxing a new Nightbeat, then yeah, sure, why not get this guy? Okay, well that's all I gotta say. Get out of here, but before you do, how about you like, share, comment, and subscribe if you liked the video, come on. And also follow me elsewhere. And last but not least, thanks for watching. And see you next week.